and welcome to Music at the Piano. We are looking at pages 48 and 49 in Mayron Cole's Older Beginner Level 2 textbook. This is available for free. You can download it for free, and the link for that is in the description of this video. So, with a little help from the cat, we're going to name these notes. Now, the treble clef is called the G clef because it identifies this note, this line right here, as treble G, which is the G above middle C. If this is middle C, which you can barely see, so I'll make a little adjustment here. There's middle C. This is the G above middle C. That's called treble G. Sometimes it's called G4, if middle C is called C4. So, if we can say the alphabet in skips, we can identify the other lines. If you think about the alphabet as, this is G, so this is F, this is E. So this line is E, this line is G, skip A, you get B. So here you have E, G, B, skip C, you get D. So the lines then are E, G, B, D, skip E, you have F. So E, G, B, D, F. If you learn to say that quickly, this will help you in identifying the names of the notes of the treble staff. Now, I like to cheat. So if I identify that as E and put it in the blank, then I'm going to go look for all the other E's and put them in their blanks. And then I'm going to look for a different note. This one's different. And it is the space below E. It's a little bit of an off-staff note. Well, in the alphabet letter before E is D. So we know that this is D. It's particularly that D. If this is middle C, this is that D. And there it is. There's another D. And there's another D. Okay, what else have we got? Ooh, we have this space note right here. That's another D. So we know that the line below it is G, and in the music alphabet, we start over with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. In solfege, that would be La. So if you're doing fixed do, this is Mi, this is Re, and this is La, otherwise known as A. So there's an A, and there's an A. La isn't going to help you with the alphabet things, so we'll just go with the letter names, A and A. All right, so what else have we got here? Ooh, that's a different one. Well, if you've identified your E, then the space after E is F. There's only one of them. So I think we've got E and D and A and F and A. And that's all the treble clef ones we have. Now, the lines of the bass staff are not the same as the lines of the treble staff. Remember, it's E, G, B, D, F. But here, this is called the F clef or the bass clef because these two dots identify this line as F. In the treble staff, that correlating similar line is D. So if this is F, then G, A, F, A. Well, if we think about it, we know that D is a third below F, and B is a third below D, and G is a third below B. So it's G, B, D, F, A. So the first job would be to identify your F, and there's only one of them. Then we have to go down here, and in the book, if you've been working along with us, we've learned these notes just recently. This is A, but if you can count down to F, E, D, C, B, A, and then I'd find all of the A's and identify them. And then this one over here is G. It comes before A. G, G, and G. That's right at the end there. Then you've got the one on the other side of A, up one from A is B, and a B, and this is the G above F. So that should do it for that. And most of what I just said was for people who haven't been following along, because if you've been following along, you probably did this page already. Now, getting ready for the next piece, which I'll do in an hour or two, make a video, here's some questions. There's a new note called F, and it's this F right down here. So here's middle C, and here's the base F of the two dots going around the line. And an octave below that is low F, and that's that F right there. That would be F2. This is F3, because middle C is C4, F2. And the one below that is F1. In the if you're identifying middle C as C4, there's a lot of different ways to do this. So that's why I always say if middle C is C4, then this is F2. So when you have an incomplete first measure, it's I think she calls it a split measure. I call it an incomplete first measure, and it's also known as a pickup measure or an anacrusis. And the beats that did not appear in that incomplete first measure will show up in the last measure of the composition. This is a quarter rest, and it tells you to have silence for the equivalent of one count. This is the space below middle C, and that is B. If it is in the treble clef, especially in the beginning method book, you would most likely play that with your right hand. RIT period is an abbreviation for the Italian word ritardando, which means to gradually slow, gets gradually slower. And DIM period is an abbreviation for the Italian word diminuendo, which tells you to gradually play softer, gradually softer. So those are pages 48 and 49, and I'll see you shortly in page 50 and 51.